What's going on, y'all? It's Nick with Bear Family Farms. Sorry we haven't posted many videos as of late. We've been super busy. We're going to try and get some videos put together and put them out here in the next couple days. But today we're out here preparing for a rough winter. Hay's been real difficult to find for us, and if we can find it, it's outrageously priced. So we're going to improvise, and we're building some wooden portable feeders. We're going to have a 12-foot one here. I've already put some of these together, so we're going to have a 6-foot one, and I've got some here. This is nothing but a little bit thicker, like 5/8, but just a little bit thicker than a fence picket. And I pre-drilled holes, and I used wood screws, and I've built some of these maybe a year or two ago, and they're still holding up pretty good. And then I've pre-cut some of the pieces that I'm gonna need. So I got 16-inch pieces there and 6-inch pieces here. I'll show you as I go along where it all fits. So you'll probably need, I don't know. I'd say I've got 3 12-footers over there and 5 6-footers over there. So let's just call it 25 2x4s you're gonna need, and these 5/8 pieces of wood here. You're gonna need, I think I had like 20 or 25 of those in 12-foot sections. So obviously I cut those in half, made those smaller, a little bit easier to handle. And then I also got some rebar, some 3/8 rebar that I'm going to cut probably about 18 inches or so, and I'm gonna bend the top half and kind of make a stake so I can get these to sit stationary. Like I said, we're preparing for winter, so I've already priced out alfalfa pellets. We usually keep a good amount of those for the horses and whatnot, but it's a 3/8 pellet, so it's a little bit bigger than those small ones that you buy at, the regular Tractor Supply or whatever. There's less waste, so that's what we're gonna plan on feeding in case we cannot get our hands on hay. We haven't had much rain, so everybody around us hasn't really cut much hay. There's not any to cut, and if you can find it, it's super expensive. So we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll tape it as we go along. Before I forget, I wanted to go over everything I'm using here. So we got a drill with a 1/8 drill bit. That is to pre-drill the holes for putting the 5/8 boards together where the actual feed's gonna sit. We got an impact driver of some sort with a star bit. You got a level, pencil, tape measure, some spray paint, what we had lying around, the essentials, the AirPods, you listen to your tunes while you're working. You got 2.5-inch screws. I'm a big fan of these star bits because I feel like they bite better and they don't strip out like the Phillips screws do. So those 2.5-inch screws are what you're going to use for everything else other than putting the 5/8 boards together. And then you got 1 5/8 screws. You got your square, some bits, and an energy drink. Other than that, yeah, that's all you're going to need. Trying to see, yep, that's going to be it. So this is a 12-foot feeder. It's one of the 12-footers. What I do is I make a mark at 1 foot. This is going to be one of the legs. I make another mark at 6 foot because this is the middle of this 12-foot board. And then I make another mark on the end at 1 foot. And those will be my, where I'm going to put the legs. Alright, so the next step is you're going to take a 16-foot piece that you've cut. And I cut these at 16 inches, I'm sorry. 16 inches because it was the most efficient way to use an 8-foot piece of 2x4. So with the 8-foot piece of 2x4, I was able to get 6 of these 16-inch pieces. So you'll take one of these 16-inch pieces and you'll get it flush at the top there, and you'll take your level. You'll make sure that that you're level there, and you can see that is level. And you're going to take another screw You're going to pop it in right below that one, right there. So that's the next step. Alright, so now you got one side of these boards done. You can see 1, 2, 3. Those are those marks that I made earlier. And then you flip it over and you're going to do the other side pretty much the same way. And I will show that next. Alright, so the next thing I do before I screw these in on this side is I take a screw and I put it right there and kind of hold it up for me so I'm not trying to hold it up, and I do that all the way down. And then I'll go ahead. Now that the fact that you got this one level with your level on the other side, this side's going to be level. And I'm going to put my screws in here. That's the next step. Alright, after you got your 2 screws put in this side, you're going to take those 6-inch pieces that you cut, and you're going to put one screw in the middle, just like this, on the bottom pieces of each leg. So the reason I did the 6-inch pieces and I left this spacing here because basically was for cost, because I can make 16 6-inch pieces out of one 8-foot 2x4 versus only making 15 or 14 if I cut another inch or so. But like I said, you're going to put one screw here and get them as flush as possible all the way around, and then we'll do that all the way down just like so. And that is the next step. Alrighty, so next you're going to get another 16-inch piece and screw it pretty flush with the corners of these. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, with the corners of these, you don't want that corner down farther than this 2x4. But it'll look like that. And you'll do one all the way down. And then the next step, we'll have to take it off and put it on the ground. It's the easiest way to do it, to make sure that you get your boards, your second board legs level with the first ones that you just put on. So we'll go ahead and put this on the ground. So like I said, the reason I like to put them on the ground is to make sure that this piece is level, and then you just put your screw in there, and then you'll have one leg done. You'll do that all the way down. And just like that, you have yourself a 12-foot feeder. The 6-foot feeder, same way, so they're only going to have 2 legs. I'll show the end product of that one. I won't go through the steps again, but steps are the same. You just take one of the middle ones out. You're only going to have 2 on the end. The last and final step that I like to do, I usually paint these, but I'm running out of time, so all I do is paint the bottoms. That's what's going to be in the ground. This isn't pressure treated wood. I wasn't going to spend the extra money to do that. I could just throw some spray paint on it and we'll be good. So that's basically all we do. And here is a finished product of a 6-foot one. We got our 12-footers over there, and it is ready to be painted.
Be sure to get the
Again, you could paint the whole things if you'd like them, but the best part, or the easiest way to do it, is just to get whatever's touching the ground painted with cheap spray paint, good paint, doesn't matter what it is. But the finishing touch you want to put on these is about a 3/8 hole, I don't know, every couple feet, to let water drain out the end. You could cap them, but we don't take the time to cap them. Just adds more weight and we move them around a lot. So like I said, those holes, let that water drain out, and I put it in all these new ones, and I had some old ones over there on the end that put some more paint on and reinforced. But yep, that's it. You got 12-footers and 6-footers. Pretty easy stuff.